Hey everybody, I'm here on set with Seth and Coach Dario. We're here to talk about our programs here at Provision Academy. Every single one of our programs is built with intention, whether it's our 7-on-7, which is our skill development, wide receiver, quarterbacks, running backs, defensive backs, our 5-on-5, which Coach Dario is going to talk about, our specialists, or our speed and strength. All of them are built with intention. We're going to deep dive into two of our specific programs that I think are really unique to us and probably the best in this area, which would be our 5-on-5, our offensive line, defensive line development, and our kicking specialist program. We're going to start with Coach Dario, a guy who played in the league, and that defensive line identity of being a brotherhood. It's pretty evident to see that when you guys are out there, but I want you to talk about our 5-on-5 program.
Yeah, well, shoot, man. That's where games are won or lost, is the trenches. We take a lot of pride in this program. One, because a lot of kids grow up, they don't dream of being about being an O-lineman, right?
No glory, right?
No glory in it. And even the D-line, it's got a little more, it's a little sexier position.
Yeah.
But all in all, it takes a lot to be a good lineman, period. So what that is, a 5-on-5 is kind of what it's titled. That refers to actually the tournament play type of the style. It's just your one-on-one pass rush. Basically, you got 5 linemen, 5 D linemen, and it's a pass rush emphasis for sure. Yep. With that, you know, it's an overall O-line, offensive line, defensive line program, right? Development program. Yeah. And so we teach them the fundamentals of the game, right? And one thing that was evident to me in the area was when my own kid was playing, put him in, he was a big kid, 7th grade, first year tackle football. And I see the coach, boom, 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 just picks out all the big guys, lines them up on the line. And that was it. Just showed him plays, didn't teach him, you know, steps, footwork, hands, all the fundamentals that you need to at least have foundationally to become a good lineman. But it's a special program. One, it's the only one of its kind here in Spokane.
Yeah, for sure.
And we do it at a high level, right? We have 3 former professional coaches, Coach Rose being one, yep. Greg and myself. And then we're blessed with having Whitworth and Eastern so close by. We get a lot of those current players helping us out as well, which adds that piece where the kids are in it.
Yeah.
The young kids always don't want to hear the old guys talking, so the young boys jump in, demonstrate, do all things. It's amazing.
And a lot of those guys that were in the program, right?
Yeah.
Came
Thanks,
up in
Seth,
the program.
for recognizing that. Yeah. A lot of our guys that come back to Provision that are playing at Whitworth, Ben Voigtlander being one, who was one of our first line program. He's out at Eastern. My son, Waylon, out at Eastern, and then Dylan McCain. There's a few others to mention that been through our program that are playing ball. And what we do is like, we develop the love for the position, right? And a lot of it comes just through the camaraderie. You come out there, it's a different feel than let's say the 7-on-7 group. Like, if you've played, you've coached, those personalities, you know, are a little different position-wise on the football field. And so we just develop that, man. We encourage that. We cultivate this brotherhood. We have ages ranging from 5th grade to, you know, high school, all the way through 11th, 12th grade.
All working together, right?
All working together. We're all out the field, you know, we flip and flop, but they're all out together. It's great. Usually, there's been times where we line up the old guys, Braveheart style, line up the young guys. They look at each other, and I go in and explain them like, hey, big guys, that was once you.
Yeah.
Right? That was once you looking up at older guys, a little intimidated.
See, that's the cool thing. You were saying that, I mean, there's not a lot of kids that are growing up thinking like, man, I want to be an offensive lineman. And that's not, as we know the game of football, we know how important that position is, or defensive line. But when you're growing up, that's not what most kids want to be. I want to be the quarterback. I want to be catching touchdowns like I'm Justin Jefferson, right? But then you get that entire group together at practice, and you got 4th grader, 5th grader, 6th grader looking at dudes who take this really, really serious, and they're like, man, this is a part of who I am. I'm a trench dog, right?
Yeah.
That starts at a young age, and then it's flipping the script on kind of why that position is so important.
Oh, yeah, and you know, an ode to the older guys.
Yeah.
For kind of taking their too cool jackets off and being like, hey, I'm practicing with little guys here. You know what I mean? But that goes to show the culture of just kind of the innate culture of the lineman group.
Yeah.
They're high-fiving the little guys. You go to those practices, you can see it, it's evident. A lot of parents,
100%.
the first thing they notice is that. But more so, let's get back to like the technical part.
Yeah,
right?
like more of the ins and outs.
So we're teaching block destruction, which is run stop. We teach the O-linemen how to run block, and very meticulous, right? Because this is not a position where, hey, let's go to the park and work run block. You know, where you can go to the park and throw the ball and run routes, do all that.
Yeah.
So you have to seek out the instruction to become a better lineman. And it's, you know, that's when you have an opportunity in Spokane to be taught by guys that played at a high level, guys that care about kids, guys that focus on the growth. It's pretty special, man. Like we take our group, high school, I mean, all of our groups to compete on the West Side, where they get an opportunity to compete against some of the top talent in the state, and definitely a different size of human when we go over there.
College.
Yeah, they're 5 stars. There's Oregon commits, UW commits, and our guys go over there, and you know, they're met with some adversity. And like I mentioned in an earlier episode, where we don't see a ton of, we don't win a lot of tournaments, okay? But again, there's a lot of success. Like ultimately, it's pass rush emphasis, so that's only one part of the game. But what it does is put these kids in a situation where there's a little fear, there's a little nerves, and they got to work through that. They got to get over the fear of competing against somebody that is twice your size. And then, you know, as we work through the season, you start to see our guys develop at a faster pace. So we go over there, our guys compete, man, they're technicians, right? They have to win based on technique and strategy, because they're just oversized and sometimes out athletic abilitied, if that's a word. John, Coach V would kill me right now for that one.
But those are the things within control, like you can practice that, it's in your control.
Absolutely. So again, it goes back to effort, attitude, right, and energy, and how to attack each rep. The mindset to seeing that. Like I remember being in the pros, dude. I was scared out of my mind. Like thought these guys were superhuman. Do I belong here? And that you got, it's like jumping off a bridge. You know, you just gotta send it.
Right.
See what happens. But we tell this kid, man, trust the technique, control the controllables, and just compete your butt off. So it's been a lot of success with that for sure. That's it in a short bit of time. You know, I want to hear what the kickers got going around town, because it's something special too. And again, a niche. Not saying O-line, D-line's a niche thing, but it's something that you have to seek out. So
100%. Like again, why it's awesome to have you two guys talking kind of side by side. It's in this area, there's nothing like it. 5-on-5, and then the specialist and the kicking stuff. And you know, Seth, like we worked together at Whitworth, and dude, pretty clear, right? Like I worked on some of the special teams, and just the way the care that you had for your players, right? And those players, right, were kids who are now in college, but those kids were in your program for years. The weight room, right? Your kicking session. So man, it's clear that you love this and you're about it. I just want to hear your heart for that, and I want everybody else to hear that too.
Yeah, I mean, I absolutely love that I get to coach these guys and give them something I didn't have growing up. And that's where it all came from, right? I grew up in Coeur d'Alene, and there's no kicking coach around here. There's no kicking coach in Seattle. Like, there's nothing, you know? And so as soon as I really fell in love with the art of kicking, I wanted to, when I was done playing, come back and give the kids what I didn't have, which is the technique, and just the vision of like, okay, if you do these things, you have a really good chance, right? Not guarantee, right? Because you got to get lucky. There's a lot of things that have to fall into place for you to get where you want to be. But I mean, man, it really started halfway through my college career. My mom worked with a kicker up in Lakeland, and he was transitioning to soccer, wanted to play football, and wanted to kick because he was a good soccer player. And his name's Owen Forsman, first guy ever in my program. And man, that kid means the world to me. During that time when I started coaching him, I'd drive out to Coeur d'Alene at least once, twice a week, and we'd just kick into a net in his his physical therapy office, at a little batting cage area. We'd just kick into that, work on technique. And those are some of the darkest days of my career as a player. So I had broken my back. I was at the top, very top of my game, All-American, one of the best kickers in FCS, all that, and then had some really tough injuries with my back and everything. And in that tough time where I didn't really know who I was or what I wanted to do, and it was looking like football was not going to really be much longer in my future, I was coaching Owen. And at the time, you know, I was just getting the happiness from those sessions.
Yeah.
You know, that was really the majority of my happiness, right? And as I continued to try to get back from my injury, never happened, had to medically retire. Best thing that ever happened to me.
Right.
Changed my life, you know. And now, as soon as I graduated and that happened, I hit up Dario, and because I saw what they were building, and I never got to be a part of it because pretty much started as soon as I was graduating high school, going to college. And I hit up Dario, and we met, and I said, I want to bring the kickers in here.
Yeah.
And I want to help in the weight room because I know what that did to me. That changed my life, the weight room. TJ Conley out at Eastern.
Yeah.
Hey, Kyle, let me interrupt you real quick and going back to the first time we met. So I get a call from Seth, right? And I don't know from Adam. I've been at Eastern games, didn't know who's kicking the ball. But he calls and we went and met. And I'll say this, when he first said kicking, I'm thinking, okay, right? Because I had no idea what kickers do, how they learn, who they learn from. But the one thing that was evident was his passion for coaching and kicking, right? Which to me, I didn't spend a lot of time with kickers when I was on a team. Because a lot of times they're a part of the team. Yes, you rely on them.
Well, separate.
Okay, but there was always this separation of kickers, and there was also like a separation because they didn't work as hard as we. They didn't go through the grind like we did.
Yeah.
So what's cool is to have him come in, tell us the plan, and like being able to watch him do his thing, dude. It's a special thing.
Yeah.
Not only does he just teach kicking, but he does it in the provision way, which is like, man, he builds a relationship with these kids.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He's selfless with the kids. He tries to create opportunities for these kids. And when you go, sometimes he doesn't see me there, but I'm watching, I'm listening, and I'll watch a kid kick, and right away he can see every little thing, which for me, I can't, right? Now, show me a D lineman, I can chime in on that. So it's very evident in the way he coaches that he is a specialist at his specialist position.
Well, Seth said something. I mean, you said an art.
Yeah.
Right?
A-OK, art of kicking.
There we go. Like the art, I think, like kicking, and maybe this is wrong, but like comparing it to a baseball swing or a golf swing, or
Yeah.
it's so technical, right? And training yourself to be able to see, like, what are the coaching things that you're looking for to be able to spot, like, hey, no, this is why that ball got pushed this direction. But I want to hear more about the art, man, because that's fascinating to me.
There's so many little things that go into having a great swing, but the most important thing is just making it repeatable for you. And there are some guidelines, like we got to stay straight to the ball. We have to finish downfield with a target. We got to use our hips and get our hips through and not block off our hips with our shoulders. But everybody moves different. Everybody's a different height. Everybody has different explosiveness into the ball, out of the ball. Everybody's a little lighter on their feet, heavier on their feet. Like, so you just got to work with what the kid has, right? And what's so cool is that I get to help them with their athletic ability in the weight room and speed train. But in terms of kicking, like, you don't need to be on kicking that field goal post. Like, I don't really care if it goes in or not. You know, we can see some part of the ball flight when we're kicking inside, and that's my favorite part. Because you are solely focused on what your body feels like when you're doing it, where you're trying to go, where your foot is trying to step, and how you're stepping.
Yeah.
Right? Are you pulling? Are you pushing? What's that do to your chest? Like, everything has a reaction from a movement. So, like, say you push, your chest is going to go down. Right? So I look at, like, okay, why is he missing this right? Okay, it has to be, it could be from his first step. It could be from his second step. It could be from where his foot's at the ball. It could be where his knee's at the ball. Like,
so
there's
many factors.
So many tiny little things that go into it. And it's like a little science project. Like, I love when I first get guys in and their swings are pretty wonky, right?
Yeah.
And as soon as
Is
they
that
start to
official
click it.
kicking term? Wonky?
Wonky. I don't really use that term very often, but.
Well, dude, I'm gonna interrupt. So, like, with the technique stuff, like, and this is going back to the kicking, like, program itself, which, you know, you go into Coach Seth's kicking program, our Provision kicking program, and we talk about how unique it is. Like, you're using technology that probably nobody in this state, or very few people, are even aware of, like Trackman. Like, these kids, when they sign up, and you go to a kicking session out on a field, like, you're using high level technology that separates you from, I mean, people in the nation like teaching this. Yeah. So, like, Trackman, right?
Yeah, Trackman. It's the system's a lot like golf.
Yeah.
There's ball speed, launch angle, the distance the ball goes, the ball flight, and the trajectory of how it moves in the air, the apex. Like, there's a bunch of all these numbers, right? And it kind of is overwhelming at first, but there's a height at the line of scrimmage, right? So trying to hit the ball a certain height at the line so it doesn't get blocked, right? You could hit a great ball all day, but if it's at 9 feet, that ain't getting over the line.
Yeah. All right, talking all this math, all right,
Yeah.
You're killing me over here.
Here.
Situation. 37-yard line. Okay, you're on grass.
Yep.
It's a little dewy. All right. Left hash. What thought process? Game's on the line. What's the thought process? Pressure's on.
Yeah.
What do you rely on going into this kick? We need you to win. You got to be part of the team.
Yep. So you're not thinking about making the kick.
Doesn't matter what side the ball's on?
Doesn't matter where it is. Every swing, we're trying to hit the same swing. Your process, at least what I teach, we're thinking, everybody has a swing thought that you say to yourself before every swing that gets you in rhythm and kind of reminds you, maybe you're working on something that week. It's like, I got to stay tall. So we're saying, stay tall, downfield, whatever your swing thought is that works for you. And
you have all this time to think about this before the kick?
Oh, we have way too much time to think. That is.
Because you're all game, right? All
and everybody's
game
coming up to you too.
Yeah. And so it's like, you have to be able to be real calm, right? Some guys like to get all amped up and stuff, but the best guys are even keel.
Okay.
They don't go high and low.
Like a sniper.
Yeah, like a sniper.
Even temperament.
And so, yeah, you're fully just going through your process.
Okay.
And when you're in the net, you're making sure everything's lined up right. You're making sure everything, you're seeing everything. You're calm. Your heart beats down. Take some box press if you need to, and the reason you have full confidence in making that kick is all the work you've done before.
All right.
So you're relying back on that stuff and just trusting that you did enough before that to make that kick, because a lot of time when you're out there, you have so much adrenaline that you can't really feel a ton until you hit the ball. And
So I'm assuming you're teaching your kids the mental part, the breathing, the visualization, all of that. All right, real quick, because there's moments in games I watch football that I'm a little jealous of kickers sometimes.
Why?
It's that game-winning kick, and the entire team comes running to the kicker. Has that ever happened to you? That's got to be an amazing feeling, because on the other end of that is these kickers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tell me about one of your best experiences, best moments in kicking. Has that ever happened to you?
I have not hit a game winner, missed a game winner, and that was the worst day of my life for sure. But we don't need to get into all that. We can talk about the good stuff. So we can talk about 55-yarder I hit right before halftime against Cal Poly at home. It was during COVID season, and it was the first game with fans back. And we're playing Cal Poly, whose head coach was Coach Baldwin, Eastern's old head coach. It was the first game we played against each other. And I mean, we're whooping them, but I think there's 9 seconds left. I'm lined up. He calls a timeout, tries to ice me. And, I'm just thinking I'm so confident. I'm bouncing around a little bit like, oh, you think you can ice me? Like, no. Like, I'm the ice man. That's what I'm saying in my head.
That was butters, bro.
No,
Move over, Caleb Williams. No more ice, man.
And me and my holder were just talking like, I'm banging this thing. And it's right hash. Come out of timeout, line back up. And as soon as I hit it, I look up. I know it's good. I look to the fans, and I started kind of like dancing, skipping to the sideline. And my snapper, Cody, comes up, and we're celebrating. And I get picked up by one of the running backs, and I'm juiced. And then I start hitting this on the sideline. And then we have like a little track before our stands. We need a new stadium still at Eastern. But I step onto the track, and the first time the fans are there. So I'm juiced. I'm screaming at the fans, and I hear, Seth, what the hell are you doing? And I'm like, oh, there's 2 seconds left still. I need to go kick off. So that was probably the coolest experience I had on the field. But never game winners, but that session, that day was pretty cool.
So we have something in common then, because it's not you don't grow up, hey, I want to be a kicker. Like, that's really not a thing, right? So I think there's some correlation there where you got to also build the love of this position into those kids, right?
Yeah.
It's freaking amazing.
And that's what's awesome, again, with you guys. And as we kind of wrap up here, man, like being able to take something that might not be as popular, we're talking about linemen or kicking, right, in regards to the game of football, and having dedicated programs that are not just there, but doing that at an elite, extremely high level.
Yeah.
That's what separates us here at Provision, is being able to have that elite type of training and that passion that you brought to the pros and now are giving to the kids. And then Seth, it's so evident in the players that you're coaching and the players that we know from working together. So
yeah, I would say this too. On the way home, I get to drive down with some kids, and just having conversations with these kids to have them understand like what a high level of coaching they're getting.
yeah.
Because I've asked kids, hey, they watch YouTube videos, they watch that. And I'm like, bro, you got it live here in Spokane, And it's not just the techniques, it's the mental side. It's all those other things that go along with it, you know what I mean? So if you're in the Spokane area or you're close, I'm talking 150-mile radius, and you want to be a lineman, like, I can confidently say this is the place to go and do it. I'll say it for Seth, that is the place to go and learn how to kick. You know what I'm saying? So
when we're doing more than, we're training them mentally for the game and we're training them physically for the game, but we're also building the foundation for their life.
absolutely.
And who they're going to be as fathers, and whatever they do in their careers, like, we're setting that foundation for them and teaching them, like, be yourself.
Yeah.
Obviously, you got to be yourself in some good ways, but, like, allow them to be themselves and grow, and the potential of growth from there is all you can ask for.
Most time I spend with a kicker.
I love it, man. ProvisionAcademy.com. Check it out. Join our 5-on-5, our specialist. Appreciate you guys.